Howdy class, I'm just going to make a quick little video here, just exploring kind of what to do in the class and also talking about the assignment, right? So when you go into the class, right, you click on the home, or it'll take you right to the home, and really we're not going to be using this too much, right? This is just kind of our welcome. Every week there'll be a new thing that pops up over here, so if you go to click on week 1, and that's going to be where you should be hanging out for the rest of this week up until Sunday, but you know, things aren't due until Tuesday, so if you hang out here a little bit longer, there's no worries there, right? And in here we have some links, right? We can go ahead and we can click, we can look at the syllabus if we haven't done so already, right? We can go ahead and post to the forum as well, you know, once again, if we haven't done so already. And if we have some questions, right, we can email, I guess I could link that, or you can post to the specific question and answer forum, and hopefully they will get answered by either myself or some other students, right? Now, before we continue, I need to go ahead and make this video so that I can upload it, right? So when you see this will have a link here, and it'll go to the video, and then you can just click on it and just kind of go in an infinite loop of watching videos if you want, but I don't recommend that. Instead, let's go ahead and let's click on that problem set 1 and take a look there for what I'm asking you guys to do. So for these, I don't have a minimum word requirement. That's part of the reason why I went and defined the points that I'm going to be giving out. So you please define the demand curve, define the supply curve, and then link them together, explaining to someone very ignorant of economics, you know, one of your grandparents, if they're not, you know, an economist, obviously, why the equilibrium point is the intersection of the demand and supply curves, okay? So I want that in words, and really just, you know, as long as it's going to take you, okay? Then I say for each event below, please indicate the likely impact on the demand and supply for paperback books, then indicate what's likely to happen to both the price and quantity. And I said you may want to graph these out, but you're not required to turn them in. You can if you want to, but you're not required to, okay? And for these, all I want is I just want you to tell me that the demand has either increased or decreased, and that the price and quantity, the new price and quantity, is larger or smaller, okay? And I'll go over an example of those real quick, but first let's go to the last one. I'm asking you guys, if a demand and supply curve shift by the exact same amount, then is there always uncertainty regarding, you know, one of these things, right? Either the new equilibrium price or the new equilibrium quantity. So I want you guys to explain as well, all right? So I need to add that there. So true or false, and explain why it's true or false, okay? So you guys are going to create these into Word documents, and then you're going to attach them, right? It's going to be verified by Turnitin, so don't cheat off each other, don't cheat off the internet, and then submit it, and again, just before Tuesday at midnight, all right? And I do allow some resubmissions, so if you make some mistakes and you do really badly, and after I correct it, you want to get back some of those points, we can totally work that out, okay? So keep that in mind, everyone. All right, and now let's go ahead and really quickly go ahead and do an example of number 2, right? So instead of paperback books, let's think of a random market. What market should we do? What market should we do? Let's do boats. All right. It just popped into my head. Boats. And so we're going to stick to that regular L, like we're always in, right? That first part of the Cartesian coordinate planes, right? The first quadrant. And when we're labeling this, sometimes it gets confusing, right? And sometimes you don't know where the P and the Q go. And so there's a nice mnemonic where you can just say the alphabet, and when you get to that part, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, N, O, P. The P is going to go right here because it comes before the Q in the alphabet, okay? So we're going to have the price on the y-axis and the quantity on the x-axis. I'm going to go ahead and make some curves now, right? We need some curves. Let's gotta have a purple demand curve. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And so that's going to be my demand. And then, you know, we'll have a green supply curve. How about that? That'll be my supply curve. All right, so what I'm asking you guys to do is I'm asking you to recognize either a determinant in demand or supply and predict how that determinant changing will impact the equilibrium price and quantity. And so first of all, let's go ahead and label the equilibrium price and quantity, right? I mean, you know, we're here, why not? So we'll go ahead and boop, 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 boop. This is why I just ordered a tablet, so that these will be straight in a week. This is going to be our P sub 1 star, and you'll see why I said sub 1 for right now. So that's our first P value, and this is going to be our Q sub 1 star as well. Okay, so that's our first equilibrium quantity value. Now let's say that the economy starts to really, you know, kick, right? In terms of, you know, everybody's getting jobs, everybody's producing more, everybody's earning more money, right? So what happens when everybody earns more money? Well, when everybody earns more money, they buy more of these goods, right? They buy more boats. And that's because boats are what we call a normal good. They're actually a luxury good, but that's just a subtype of a normal good, right? It just means that as people get more money, they're going to be buying more boats. That's all it really means. Inferior goods are things like ramen noodles, right? Or things like bus passes. Inferior goods, we've got, you know, ramen noodles and bus passes and, you know, just any kind of thing that when your income increases, you decrease the consumption of it. Right? So that's an inferior good. When the income increases, you decrease the consumption. They're pretty rare. For the most part, we're going to be dealing with normal goods. But when we're talking about income, that's an important question to ask yourself. Okay, the income increased, but given the nature of this market, of this good, does that mean that people are going to buy more or less of it? Okay? And so income is one of our determinants of demand, and so that means that our demand is going to shift, and because boats are a normal good, it means that the demand is going to shift outwards. Okay? So we're going to have a shift of the demand curve. Oop. And we'll go ahead and we'll make some arrows. Excellent. And now we're going to go ahead and label that new equilibrium quantity. Okay, let's use a yellow. No, you can't see yellow. How about orange? That might work. Brown. Alright, so now we have a new equilibrium quantity, Q sub 2 star, that's larger than the old equilibrium quantity, and we have a new equilibrium price, P sub 2 star, that's higher than the old equilibrium price, right? So we would say that both the price and the quantity increased. Alright? So now you're asking yourself, okay, well, you know, that looks like a lot of work, Chris. I don't want to make these graphs and have to, you know, save them and download them and attach them, right? You know, so you could save it like that. You can also, what could we also do? Oh, let me show you real quick. There's this nice cute thing called the snipping tool in Windows. If you click on that, you can just go ahead and take a little segment of anywhere on your screen. You can just kind of, you know, copy it over, right? Almost like you can do in Snapchat these days. And then you're going to go ahead and you can save this guy. Alright, and then you can insert that into your Word document. And again, that's only if you want, guys, alright? I don't need these from you. I'm going to be able to figure out whether or not you understand things by your response to the questions, right? So all I really want from you guys, all I'm going to be grading you on, you can submit these and I'll correct them, of course, but all I'm going to be grading you on is one, did the supply or demand shift in the correct direction, right? So you're going to be telling me how the supply and demand shifted, and I'm going to be asking myself, well, is that the correct direction given what's going on in each one of those examples? And then two, did the price you know, increase or decrease correctly? And then number 3, you guessed it, did the quantity, right? So quantity up or down. That's really all I'm looking for, guys. In order to get there, you need to go ahead and graph these out and recognize the determinants and perform the shifts. But feel free to do that on scrap paper and just give me the end result, because again, it's not the easiest thing in the world, right? But that's all that I'm looking for, really. So I'm looking for, a short paragraph on number 1 that's describing the demand, describing the supply, describing equilibrium to a lay person, somebody that doesn't understand economics, has no economic knowledge. Then I'm going to have you do 6 different ones of these. And again, I'm just looking for the actual word information. You're going to tell me, okay, supply shift. For this one, the correct answer for you would be demand shifted outwards and price increase and quantity increased. That's it. I mean, that's really all. That's what I'm looking for. If you wrote that down, you would get 100% on that part. Okay. All right. That's it for this video. I'll make one more little video that's about flip it in the class and navigating the class, and that'll be it for today. All right, have a great one, and I hope everyone is having a nice Friday.